Welcome to WikiReadia, the new series where I read the entirety of a Wikipedia article back to you, hopefully learning a thing or two along the way. Now, I know that you have some questions, namely, where the hell is the next episode of Every Reference in Family Guy Explained? It's coming, it's on its way. I just thought that maybe it would be nice to broaden our horizons a little bit. The reference videos take a lot of time to do, and I'm not complaining, I have a lot of fun doing it. I just thought it'd be nice to maybe do something a little less high energy. I thought I'd make a series that you could throw on in the background, not pay much attention to, and just kind of vibe out to while you do your homework, or eat a sandwich, or write poetry. Yeah. I had a revelation that the reference videos are essentially just me combing through a bunch of Wikipedia pages and then regurgitating that information back out to you. So I figured, why not cut out the middleman? And I'm just going to read you verbatim a Wikipedia article from start to finish, and I'll add my own commentary here and there. Is this a big waste of not only your time, but mine as well? Maybe, but there's only one way to find out. And I welcome you to find that answer with me. In this episode of WikiReadia, I thought the most appropriate page to start with for this series would be the page for Family Guy. Who would have guessed? So without further ado, let's begin. Family Guy. Redirected from Family Guy. Family Guy is an American sitcom created by Seth MacFarlane for the Fox Broadcasting Company. The series premiered on January 31st, 1999, following Super Bowl XXXIII, with the rest of the first season airing from April 11th, 1999. The show centers around the Griffins, a dysfunctional family consisting of parents Peter and Lois, their children Meg, Chris, and Stewie, and their anthropomorphic pet dog, Brian. Set in the fictional city of Quahog, Rhode Island, the show exhibits much of its humor in the form of cutaway gags that often lampoon American culture. Don't you just love getting lampooned, Americans? The family was conceived by MacFarlane after he developed two animated films, The Life of Larry and Larry and Steve. And longtime viewers of this channel should be well familiar with Life of Larry and Steve. MacFarlane redesigned the film's protagonist, Larry, and his dog, Steve, and renamed them Peter and Brian, respectively. MacFarlane pitched the 15-minute pilot to Fox in May of 1998, and the show was greenlit and began production. Family Guy's Cancellation was announced shortly after the third season had aired in 2002, with one unaired episode eventually premiering on Adult Swim in 2003, finishing the series' original run. Favorable DVD sales and high ratings from syndicated reruns since then convinced Fox to revive the show in 2004. A fourth season began airing the following year on May 1st, 2005. Family Guy received generally positive reviews during its first 7 seasons. Of course, we're on season 24 now, so that's not the highest praise, but good for you. Since then, the series has received criticisms for a perceived decline in quality. Oh, there you go. In 2009, it was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Comedy Series, the first time an animated series had been nominated for the award since The Flintstones in 1961. That's actually kind of interesting. In 2013, TV Guide ranked Family Guy as the 9th greatest TV cartoon. Cool. The series has drawn significant... I do want to know what the hold on. We're going to take a small detour here and find out what was ahead of Family Guy. So Family Guy is number 9. Then SpongeBob SquarePants. Yeah, I would say SpongeBob is better than Family Guy, sure. I don't think they're really competing for the same audience, but Batman the Animated Series is better than SpongeBob at number 7. Okay, sure. Then Rocky and His Friends / The Bullwinkle Show is over Batman at number 6. Okay. I'm not really sure what the rubric is here. These don't seem very similar. But yeah, sure, Rocky and Bullwinkle is better than Batman. Then Scooby-Doo at number 5. That seems kind of loose. I feel like there are 12 Scooby-Doo shows, as we covered in our episode of Every Reference in Family Guy Explained. Then Peanuts at number 4. Okay, yeah, shout out Charlie Brown. Number 3 is Looney Tunes. Yeah, cool. Number 2, The Flintstones, once again. People really loved The Flintstones, huh? And then number 1, The Simpsons, which is not a surprise. Okay, well that answers that. So yeah, number 9. As I was saying, the series has drawn significant criticism for its storylines, humor, and character portrayals, including allegations of racism, sexism, homophobia, and reliance on offensive stereotypes and graphic violence. Yeah, that's Family Guy in a nutshell. Many tie-in media based on the show have been released, including Stewie Griffin, The Untold Story, a straight-to-DVD special released in 2005. Family Guy, Live in Vegas, a soundtrack DVD combo released in 2005, featuring music from the show as well as music created by MacFarlane and Walter Murphy. I wonder, Would you guys be interested in every reference in Family Guy live in Vegas explained? Is that something that people would like? Let me know in the comments. A video game and pinball machine, released in 2006 and 2007, respectively. Since 2005, 6 books by Harper Adult, and Laugh It Up, Fuzzball, the Family Guy trilogy, a collective of 3 episodes parodying the original Star Wars trilogy, which we will cover eventually on our series of Every Reference in Family Guy Explained. A spin-off series, The Cleveland Show, featuring Cleveland Brown, aired from September 27, 2009 to May 19, 2013. On April 2, 2025, it was announced that Family Guy would be renewed for 4 more seasons in what is considered a mega deal with parent company Disney. This renewal will take the show through the 2028-2029 television season. The 24th season premiered in October 2025, with regular episodes set to premiere in spring of 2026. Premise: characters. The show centers around the adventures and activities of the dysfunctional Griffin family, consisting of Father Peter Griffin, a bumbling and clumsy yet well-intentioned blue-collar worker, his wife Lois, a stay-at-home mother and piano teacher, in early episodes, who is a member of the affluent Pewterschmidt family, Meg, their often bullied teenage daughter who is constantly ridiculed or ignored by the family, Chris, their awkward teenage son who is overweight, unintelligent, unathletic, and in many respects a younger version of his father. Yeah, I guess. They have similar chins, noses, and Stewie, their diabolical, adult-mannered infant son of ambiguous sexual orientation who is an evil genius and uses stereotypical arch-villain phrases. Living with their family is their witty, smoking, martini-swilling, sarcastic, English-speaking anthropomorphic dog Brian, although he is still considered a pet in many ways. I'd also argue that Brian does not really fit a lot of that anymore. I wouldn't say he's very witty. He's, like, self-satisfied. Kind of smug, but I don't know about witty. He may still smoke. I don't know. Here's a little secret for you guys. I'm not the world's biggest Family Guy fan. I just think I think it's fine, but some episodes are better than others. But I just think it's a good medium to. They reference a lot of things clearly, and I thought it would be a good basis for a series. But so I'm not the most well versed on everything Family Guy. So maybe my characterization of Brian is off, but I feel like this probably isn't the most accurate depiction of him anymore. I don't think he even drinks martinis anymore. Anyway, recurring characters appear alongside the Griffin family. Yep. These include the family's neighbors, namely, sex-crazed airline pilot bachelor Glenn Quagmire, deli owner / mail carrier Cleveland Brown, and his wife Loretta, later Donna, paraplegic police officer Joe Swanson, and his wife Bonnie, their son Kevin, and their baby daughter Susie, neurotic Jewish pharmacist Mort Goldman, and his wife Muriel, and their geeky and annoying son Neil, an elderly... I don't think YouTube will allow me to say this part, so if you're curious, you can probably put 2 and 2 together, or you can, go to the Family Guy page, but I think you know what Herbert's deal is. TV news anchors Tom Tucker and Diane Simmons, Asian reporter Trisha Takanawa, and Black U weather meteorologist Ollie Williams also make frequent appearances. Actor James Woods guest stars as himself in multiple episodes, as did Adam West prior to his death. Rest in peace. Setting. The primary setting of Family Guy is Quahog, a fictional city in Rhode Island, which was founded by Peter's ancestor, Griffin Peterson. McFarlane resided in Providence during his time as a student at the Rhode Island School of Design, or RISD, and the show contains distinct Rhode Island landmarks similar to real-world locations. McFarlane often borrows the names of Rhode Island locations and icons such as Pawtucket and Buddy Cianci. Who's Buddy Cianci? Vincent Albert Buddy Cianci Jr., or Cianci. My apologies. Vincent Albert Buddy Cianci Jr. was an American politician, attorney, radio talk show host, and political commentator who served as the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island. Oh, okay. There you go. I imagine that'll be a reference in a later episode of Family Guy. We'll find out together. Pawtucket and Buddy Cianci. For use in the show. McFarlane, in an interview with Providence's Fox affiliate, WNAC-TV, or WNAC TV, for the cool people in the audience who don't have time for all that letter bullshit, stated that the town is modeled after Cranston, Rhode Island. I didn't know that. There you go. Maybe I'll add that to the next episode of Every Reference to Family Guy Explained. I'm sure you guys are really... Oh, Cranston, formerly known as Pawtuxet. Huh. You learn something new every day. See, this is why I thought this series would be a good idea. Okay. This next section is called episodes, but I don't... What do you want me to say? Season 1, 7 episodes First release, January 31st, 1999. Last release, May 16th, 1999 on Fox. It's ranked 33. Who's ranking these? Oh, the Hollywood. No. Damn, the first season has the most viewers by far, though. 14.12 million viewers? What a crazy drop-off. The next season 2 only had 6.74 million viewers, which that's a lot, but like less than half. Oh damn, and it's only gone down. They don't even have numbers for season 23. I don't know if that's because it's on Hulu or what, and it's only been on a slow, painful decline since for a while now, actually. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. Damn. Okay. I didn't know that. It's been hemorrhaging viewers since 2007. Okay. Anyway.
Hi, Dad.
Development. McFarlane conceived Family Guy in 1995 while studying animation at the Rhode Island School of Design, or the RISD, for the cool kids in the audience who don't have time for all that letter bullshit. During college, he created his thesis film titled The Life of Larry, which was submitted to his professor at RISD to Hanna-Barbera. McFarlane was hired by the company. In 1996, McFarlane created a sequel to The Life of Larry titled Larry and Steve, which featured a middle-aged character named Larry and an intellectual dog, Steve. The short was broadcast in 1997 as one of Cartoon Network's world premiere tunes. Executives at Fox saw the Larry shorts and contracted McFarlane to create a series titled Family Guy, based on the characters. Fox proposed that McFarlane complete a 15-minute short and gave him a budget of $50,000. McFarlane pitched the completed demo short to Fox on May 15, 1998, which featured the first appearance of the Griffin family. The first 7 minutes of the pitch pilot, which had a storyline parallel to the pilot that aired on television in January 1999, would be included in Family Guy DVD sets. The full 15-minute pitch demo remained lost until it was uploaded to the internet by Robert Paulson on his personal website in 2022. Despite this, the pitch demo was not discovered by the public until March 2025. Robert Paulson's a voice actor? Does he play Carl from Jimmy Neutron? I think. No. Yes? Well, yes. Yes, Robert Paulson, or Robert Frederick Paulson III, is a voice actor. And yes, he voiced Carl? Yes. Yes, he voiced Carl. He voices all the Wheezers, in fact. Is it the same Robert Paulson? I don't know. I can't click on his name. I'm gonna have to assume yes. Now I want to know. I would do every reference in the Family Guy pilot explained, but how is that gonna be helpful? It's just gonna be the same thing as the pilot. I don't know. I guess I haven't watched it. Maybe there are different references in there, but I really doubt it. Yeah. So according to this article from the AV Club, we feel like it's important to clarify the well-known voice actor Rob Paulson of Pinky and the Brain fame. Paulson not Carl Wheezer. Okay. We like to call that we in the reference biz like to call that a wild goose chase. That was a waste of time. Now you don't need to wonder if we're wasting time. That was a waste of time. So disregard the last 3 minutes. Anyway. Several aspects of Family Guy were inspired by the Larry shorts. While McFarlane worked on the series, the characters of Larry and his dog Steve slowly evolved into Peter and Brian Griffin. McFarlane stated that the difference between The Life of Larry and Family Guy was that The Life of Larry was shown primarily in my dorm room, and Family Guy was shown at the Super Bowl. See, that's funny. Good one, Mr. McFarlane. Where's that energy when you're writing Family Guy? Family Guy was originally planned to start out as short movies for the sketch show MADTV. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. What do you know? But the plan changed because MADTV's budget was not large enough to support animation production. McFarlane noted that he wanted to pitch it to Fox, as he thought it was the place to create a primetime animation show. Family Guy was originally pitched to Fox in the same year as King of the Hill, but the show was not bought until years later, when King of the Hill became successful. After the pilot episode of Family Guy aired, the series was given the green light. McFarlane drew inspiration from several sitcoms such as The Simpsons and All in the Family. Premises were drawn from several 1980s Saturday morning cartoons he watched as a child, such as The Fonz and the Happy Days Gang and Rubik, the Amazing Cube. Like, Rubik's Cube? Yeah. Wait. Did this There's no way this predated the Rubik's Cube, right? This has to be... Yeah. This has to be a show based on the toy. This is... Family Guy drew inspiration from this? How? What is this? It's broadcast as part of the Pac-Man Rubik The Amazing Cube Hour block on ABC. Oh yeah, all the kids love the Pac-Man Rubik The Amazing Cube Hour. We still talk about it. We miss you, Rubik. What the... Was this successful? 12 episodes, so... You know. That's more cartoon episodes than I've ever made, but it was also the first American animated series to feature a mainly Hispanic and Latino American roster of characters. Okay, along with voice actors. Okay, that's cool. Shout out Rubik the Amazing Cube. Renewals. On January 26, 2023, Fox announced that the series had been renewed for seasons 22 and 23, taking the show through the 2024-2025 television season. Season 22 premiered on October 1st, 2023. Season 23 premiered on February 16th, 2025. On April 2nd, 2025, it was announced that Family Guy would be renewed for 4 seasons in what is considered a mega deal with parent company Disney. This renewal will take the show through the 2028... Okay, we already read this. Anyway, the renewal deal will take the which coincides with the 30th anniversary of the show's launch in January 1999. Additionally, each season will consist of 15 episodes. Executive producers. McFarlane has served as an executive producer throughout the show's entire history. The first executive producers were David Zuckerman, Loli Aries, David Pritchard, and Mike Wolf. Family Guy has had many executive producers in its history, including Daniel Palladino, Cara Vallau, and Danny Smith. David A. Goodman joined the show as a co-executive producer in Season 3 and eventually became an executive producer. Shout out David A. Goodman. Good job. Writing. The first team of writers assembled for the show consisted of Chris Sheridan, Danny Smith, who does not get a Wikipedia article, sorry, Gary Janetti, Ricky Blitt, Neil Goldman. Isn't that the name of... Is that not the name of the character on Family Guy? Right? I know I read it earlier, but... Yeah, it is. They named him after... Okay. You learn something new every day. Garrett Donovan, Matt Weitzman, and Mike Barker. The writing process of Family Guy typically starts with 14 writers that take turns writing the scripts. When a script is finished, it is given to the rest of the writers to read. I don't know if you guys need me to read this little picture of Matt Weitzman and Mike Barker. The scripts generally include cutaway gags. Various gags are pitched to McFarlane and the rest of the staff, and those deemed the funniest are included in the episode. McFarlane has explained that it normally takes 10 months to produce an episode because the show uses hand-drawn animation. The show rarely comments on current events for this reason. The show's initial writers had never written for an animated show, and most came from live-action sitcoms. McFarlane explained that he is a fan of 1930s and 1940s radio programs. Oh, who would have guessed? Particularly the radio thriller anthology Suspense, which led him to give early episodes ominous titles like Death Has a Shadow and Mind Over Murder, both of which are episodes that I've broken down in my main series, Every Reference in Family Guy Explained. You should go check it out now if you haven't already, or even if you have, go check it out again! McFarlane said that the team dropped the naming convention after individual episodes became hard to identify, and the novelty wore off. See, I agree. The next episode in my breakdowns is the first one to not have a death title, and when I try to refer to previous episodes, I always call them either Death Has a Shadow or like they're so samey that it's difficult to discern just based on the title alone. And they often have nothing to do with a chitty chitty death bang. They don't have anything to do with the plot. For the first few months of production, the writers shared one office, lent to them by the King of the Hill production crew. Oh, that's interesting. Credited with 19 episodes, Steve Callahan is the most prolific writer on the Family Guy staff. Many of the writers who have left the show have gone on to create or produce other successful series. Neil Goldman and Garrett Donovan co-wrote 13 episodes for the NBC sitcom Scrubs during their 8-year run on the show, while also serving as co-producers and working their way up to executive producers. Mike Barker and Matt Weitzman left the show and went on to create the long-running and still ongoing animated series American Dad. McFarlane is also a co-creator of American Dad. On November 4th, 2013, it was announced that Barker had departed American Dad during its run as well, after 10 seasons of serving as producer and co-showrunner over the series. During the 2007-2008 Writers Guild of America strike, official production of the show halted for most of December 2007, and for various periods afterwards. Fox continued producing episodes without MacFarlane's final approval, which he termed, quote, a colossal dick move, in an interview with Variety. Though MacFarlane refused to work on the show, his contract under Fox required him to contribute to any episodes it would subsequently produce. Production officially resumed after the end of the strike, with regularly airing episodes recommencing on February 17, 2008. According to MacFarlane, in 2009, it cost about $2 million to make an episode of Family Guy. Money well spent. During his September 2017 AMA on Reddit, MacFarlane revealed that he had not written for the show since 2010, choosing instead to focus on production and voice acting. And cashing checks, presumably. Not giving a shit. You know, recording Frank Sinatra cover albums. You know, the finer things in life. On May 12, 2023, it was announced that the showrunners of Family Guy, including Seth MacFarlane, would temporarily leave the show as a result of the 2023 Writers Guild of America strike. They returned to the show September 27, 2023, once the strike was declared to be over. Voice cast.
Roadhouse.
There they are. I'm not gonna read their names out. Seth MacFarlane voices 3 of the show's main characters: Peter Griffin, Brian Griffin, and Stewie Griffin. Since MacFarlane had a strong vision for each of these characters, he chose to voice them himself, believing it would be easier than for someone else to attempt it. Yeah, because there are no other Peter Griffin or Stewie Griffin impressions out there. MacFarlane drew inspiration for the voice of Peter from a security guard he had overheard talking while attending the Rhode Island School of Design. Stewie's voice was based on the voice of English actor Rex Harrison. Again, both things that you should know if you watched my first episode of Every Reference in Family Guy Explained. Especially his performance in the 1964 musical drama My Fair Lady. MacFarlane uses his regular speaking voice when playing Brian. MacFarlane also provides the voices for various other recurring and one-time only characters, most prominently those of the Griffin's neighbor Glenn Quagmire, news anchor Tom Tucker, and Lois's father Carter Pewterschmidt. Alex Borstein voices Peter's wife Lois Griffin, Asian correspondent Trisha Takanawa, Loretta Brown, and Lois's mother Babs Pewterschmidt. Borstein was asked to provide the voice for the pilot while she was working on MADTV. She had not met MacFarlane or seen any of his artwork and said it was, quote, really sight unseen. At the time, Borstein was performing in a stage show in Los Angeles. She played a red-headed mother whose voice she had based on one of her cousins. Seth Green primarily voices Chris Griffin and Neil Goldman. Green stated that he did an impression of the character Buffalo Bill from the thriller film The Silence of the Lambs during his audition, another thing we cover in Every Reference in Family Guy Explained. Mila Kunis and Lacey Chabert. Is it Chabert? How do you pronounce that? Chabert, yeah. Have both voiced Meg Griffin. Chabert left the series after the first season because of time conflicts with schoolwork at the time and her role on Party of Five. When Kunis auditioned for the role, she was called back by MacFarlane, who instructed her to speak slower. He then told her to come back another time and enunciate more. He really had a problem with Mila Kunis, I guess. Once she claimed that she had it under control, MacFarlane hired her. Archival recordings of Lacey Chabert's voice that she provided as Meg Griffin are used in the 10th season episode Back to the Pilot, in which Brian and Stewie go back in time to the events of Death Has a Shadow. Mike Henry voices Herbert, Bruce the performance artist. I assume it's just Bruce Bruce Straight. That's funny. Yeah, the performance artist. Maybe I'm just uneducated. I've never heard him referred to as that. Consuela, the greased-up deaf guy, and until 2021, Cleveland Brown. Henry met MacFarlane at the Rhode Island School of Design and kept in touch with him after they graduated. A few years later, MacFarlane contacted him about being a part of the show. He agreed and came on as a writer and voice actor. During the show's first 4 seasons, he was credited as a guest star. But beginning with Season 5's Prick Up Your Ears, he was credited as a main cast member. On June 26, 2020, after 20 years of voicing the character, Mike Henry announced on Twitter that he was stepping down from voicing Cleveland, stating, quote, persons of color should play characters of color, end quote. On September 25, 2020, it was announced that Arif Zahir would take over as the voice of Cleveland. Other recurring cast members include Patrick Warburton as Joe Swanson, Jennifer Tilly as Bonnie Swanson, John G. Brennan as Mort Goldman and Horace the Bartender, Carlos Alazraqui? Not to be confused with Carlos Alazraqui. Carlos Alazraqui as Jonathan Weed, Adam Carolla as Norm McDonald, Adam Carolla and Norm McDonald as Death, Laurie Allen as Diane Simmons, Phil Lamar as Ollie Williams and Judge Dignified Q Blackman, and Kevin Michael Richardson as Jerome. Fellow cartoonist Butch Hartman has made guest voice appearances in episodes as various characters. Also, writer Danny Smith voices various recurring characters, such as Ernie the Giant Chicken, rest in peace. Alexandra Breckenridge also appears as many various characters. Adam West appeared as the eponymous Mayor Adam West until his death in 2017. Episodes often feature guest voice from a wide range of professions, including actors, athletes, authors, bands, musicians, and scientists, for the Harvard types in the audience. Many guest voice star as themselves. Leslie Uggams, who was the first to appear as herself in the 4th episode of the first season, Mind Over Murder. Oh, I didn't even catch that. She was actually played by Leslie Uggams in the episode. Go back and check out my breakdown of Mind Over Murder, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The episode, Not All Dogs Go to Heaven, guest starred the entire cast of Star Trek The Next Generation, including Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, Brent Spiner, LeVar Burton, Gates McFadden, Michael Dorn, Will Wheaton, Marina Sirtis, and even Denise Crosby. Maybe that season 1 is Tasha Yar. Maybe that means something to Star Trek fans. I don't know why they would decline Denise Crosby, but that's probably a joke for the fans. I don't know. Playing themselves. This is the episode with the most guest stars of the 7th season, in case you were wondering. Early history and cancellation. Family Guy officially premiered after Fox's broadcast of Super Bowl XXXIII on January 31st, 1999 with Death Has a Shadow. The show debuted with 22 million viewers and immediately generated controversy regarding its adult content. They had no idea what they were in for. The show returned on April 11, 1999 with I Never Met the Dead Man. Family Guy garnered decent ratings in Fox's 8:30 p.m. slot on Sunday, scheduled between The Simpsons and The X-Files. At the end of its first season, the show ranked number 33 in the Nielsen ratings, with 12.8 million households tuning in. The show launched the second season in a new time slot, Thursday at 9 p.m. on September 23, 1999. Family Guy was pitted against NBC's Frasier, and the series' ratings declined sharply, as we covered earlier. That explains it. Frasier will do that to you. Subsequently, Fox removed Family Guy from its schedule and began airing episodes irregularly. The show, that sounds like Fox. That sounds like classic Fox. That is a very Fox thing to do. The show returned on March 7, 2000 at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, where it was constantly beaten in the ratings by ABC's then new breakout hit, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, coming in at number 114 in the Nielsen ratings with 6.3 million households tuning in. Fox announced that the show had been canceled in May 2000 at the end of the second season. However, following a last-minute reprieve, on July 24, 2000, Fox ordered 13 additional episodes to form a third season. The show returned on November 8, 2001, once again in a tough time slot, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. This slot brought it into competition with Survivor and Friends. They just never wanted this show to succeed, huh? A situation later referenced in Stewie Griffin: The Untold Story. During its second and third seasons, Fox frequently moved the show around to different days and different time slots with little or no notice, and consequently, the show's ratings suffered. Upon Fox's annual unveiling of its 2002 fall lineup on May 15, 2002, Family Guy was absent. Fox announced that the show had been officially canceled shortly thereafter. That's why there's only 3 seasons of Family Guy, ladies and gentlemen. Cult success and revival.
What the fuck?
Fox attempted to sell the rights for reruns of the show, but finding networks that were interested was difficult. Cartoon Network eventually bought the rights basically for free, quote unquote, according to the president of 20th Century Fox Television, who we're not going to get a name for. Family Guy premiered in reruns on Adult Swim April 20th, 2000. 420, bro. Family Guy premiered in reruns on Adult Swim on April 20th, 2003, and immediately became the block's top-rated program, dominating late-night viewing in its time period versus cable and broadcast competition, and boosting viewership by 239%. It's crazy. You put it in front of people who want to watch it at a time they might watch it, and, well, they watch it. Who would have thought? The first complete and second seasons were released on DVD the same week the show premiered on Adult Swim, and the show became a cult phenomenon, selling 400,000 copies within 1 month. Sales of the DVD set reached 2.2 million copies, becoming the best-selling television DVD of 2003, in case you were wondering, and the second highest-selling television DVD ever, behind the first season of Comedy Central's Chappelle Show. Third season DVD release also sold more than 1 million copies. The show's popularity in DVD sales and reruns rekindled Fox's interest, and on May 20th, 2004, Fox ordered 35 new episodes of Family Guy, marking the first revival of a television show based on DVD sales. North by North Quahog, which premiered on May 1st, 2005, was the first episode to be broadcast after the show's hiatus. It was written by McFarlane and directed by Peter Shin. McFarlane believed the show's 3-year hiatus was beneficial because animated shows do not normally have hiatuses, and towards the end of their seasons, quote, you see a lot more sex jokes and bodily function jokes and signs of a fatigued staff that their brains are just fried. With North by North Quahog, the writing staff tried to keep the show, quote, exactly as it was, before its cancellation, and, quote, none of us had any desire to make it look any slicker. I love the work ethic. The episode was watched by 11.85 million viewers, the show's highest rating since the airing of the first season episode, Brian, Portrait of a Dog. Lawsuit. Oh, yeah! In March 2007, comedian Carol Burnett filed a $6 million lawsuit against 20th Century Fox, claiming that her charwoman. What's a charwoman? Charwoman, chargirl, charlady, and char are occupational terms referring to a paid part-time worker who comes into a house or other building to clean it for a few hours. Oh, as opposed to a maid, who usually lives as part of the household within the structure of domestic service. Oh, okay. Sometimes referred to as scrub women or chore women. Sounds like we've come up with some nicer names for this kind of role. Oh, Carol Burnett's charwoman character. There we go. So when we get to that, this will be what the reference is. In March 2007, comedian Carol Burnett filed a $6 million lawsuit against 20th Century Fox, claiming that her charwoman cartoon character had been portrayed on the show without her permission. She stated that it was a trademark infringement and that Fox violated her publicity rights. On June 4, 2007, United States Judge Dean D. Pregerson rejected the lawsuit, stated that the parody was protected under the First Amendment, citing Hustler Magazine vs. Falwell as precedent. I'm not going to click Hustler Magazine vs. Falwell, but I'm sure it's fascinating. On October 3, 2007, Born Co. Music Publishers filed a lawsuit accusing the show of infringing its copyright song, When You Wish Upon a Star, through a parody titled I Need a Jew, appearing in the episode When You Wish Upon a Weinstein. Born Co., the sole United States copyright owner of the song, alleged that the parody pairs, quote, a thinly veiled copy of its music with anti-Semitic lyrics. Namely, in the suit were 20th Century Fox Film Corp., Fox Broadcasting Co., Cartoon Network, McFarlane, and Murphy. The suit sought to stop the program's distribution and asked for unspecified damages. Bourne argued that I Need a Jew uses the copyrighted melody of When You Wish Upon a Star without commenting on that song, and therefore not a First Amendment protected parody per the ruling in Campbell v. Acuff Rose Music, Inc. Again, not clicking it. On March 16, 2009, the United States District Judge Deborah Batts held that Family Guy did not infringe on Bourne's copyright when it transformed the song for commercial use in an episode. In December 2007, Family Guy was again accused of copyright infringement when actor Art Metrano, I will click on him. Who is this? Oh, he was in an episode of Bewitched, Police Academy 2 and 3. I don't know. We'll find out why he was so upset. Filed a lawsuit regarding a scene in Stewie Griffin: The Untold Story, in which Jesus performs Metrano's signature magic act involving absurd faux magical hand gestures while humming the distinctive tune Fine and Dandy. 20th Century Fox, McFarlane, Callahan, and Borstein were all named in the suit. In July 2009, a federal district court judge rejected Fox's motion to dismiss, saying that their first 3 fair use factors involved, quote, purpose and character of the use, nature of the infringed work, and amount and substantiality of the taking counted in Metrano's favor, while the 4th, economic impact, had to await more fact-finding. In denying the dismissal, the court held that the reference in the scene made light of Jesus and his followers, not Metrano or his act. The case was settled out of court in 2010 with undisclosed terms. Hallmarks. Road 2 episodes. The Road 2 episodes are a series of Hallmark travel episodes. They are a parody of the 7 Road 2 comedy films starring Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. It sounds like something that Seth MacFarlane would reference. These episodes have always involved Stewie and Brian in some foreign, supernatural, or science fiction location unrelated to the show's normal location in Quahog. The first, titled Road to Rhode Island, aired on May 30th, 2000 during the 2nd season. The episodes are known for featuring elaborate musical numbers similar to the Road films. The episodes contain several trademarks, including a special version of the opening sequence, custom musical cues, and musical numbers, and parodies of science fiction and fantasy films. The original idea for the Road 2 episodes came from MacFarlane, as he is a fan of the films of Crosby, Hope, and Dorothy Lamour. The first episode was directed by Dan Povenmire, who would direct the rest of the Road 2 episodes until the episode Road to Rupert, at which point he had left the show to create Phineas and Ferb, with Jeff Swampy Marsh. Series regular Greg Colton then took over Povenmire's role as director of the Road 2 episodes. The Road 2 episodes are generally considered by critics and fans to be some of the greatest in the series, thanks to the developing relationship between Stewie and Brian and strong plot lines of the episodes themselves. Humor. Oink. Family Guy uses the filmmaking technique of cutaways, which occur in the majority of Family Guy episodes. Emphasis is often placed on gags which make reference to social phenomena and/or modern cultural icons. If only there was a series that broke down these references to social phenomena and/or modern cultural icons. Early episodes based much of their comedy on Stewie's supervillain antics, such as his constant plans for total world domination, his evil experiments, plans and inventions to get rid of the things he dislikes, and his constant attempts at matricide. As the series progressed, the writers and McFarlane agreed that his personality and the jokes were starting to feel dated, so they began writing him with a different personality. Family Guy often includes self-referential humor. The most common form is jokes about the Fox network, and occasions where the characters break the fourth wall by addressing the audience. For example, in North by North Quahog, the first episode that aired after the show's revival included Peter telling the family that they had been canceled because Fox had to make room in their schedule for shows like Dark Angel, Titus, Undeclared, Action, That 80s Show, Wonder Falls, Fastlane, Andy Richter Controls the Universe, Skin, Girls Club, Cracking Up, The Pits, Firefly, Get Real, Freaky Links, Wanda at Large, Costello, The Lone Gunman, A Minute with Stan Hooper, Normal, Ohio, Pasadena, Harsh Realm, Keen Eddie, The Street, The American Embassy, Cedric the Entertainer Presents, The Tick, Louie, and Greg and the Bunny, just to name a few. Lois asks whether there is any hope, to which Peter replies that if all these shows are canceled, they might have a chance. The shows were indeed canceled during Family Guy's hiatus. The show uses catchphrases, and most of the primary and secondary characters have them. Notable expressions include Quagmire's giggity giggity goo, Peter's freaking sweet, Cleveland's oh that's nasty, and Joe's bring it on. We all love when Joe says bring it on. We're all clamoring for the next bring it on. Personally, I'm sitting here in my bring it on t-shirt, just kind of dreaming about Joe. The use of many of these catchphrases declined in later seasons. The episode Big Man on Hippocampus mocks catchphrase-based humor when Peter, who has forgotten everything about his life, is introduced to Meg. He exclaims, "Doe," to which Lois replies, "No, Peter, that's not your catchphrase." I think you're thinking of Homer Simpson. Reception and legacy. In 2016, a New York Times study of the 50 TV shows with the most Facebook likes found that, like other satirical comedies, Family Guy is most popular in cities. Cool. The show's popularity has been correlated with the support for Hillary. The show's popularity was more correlated with support for Hillary Clinton than any other show. Who measured that? What was second place? What was the least? Duck Dynasty vs. Modern Family, 50 maps of the U.S. cultural divide. There it is, Family Guy. Family Guy's for city slickers and Hillary Clinton supporters. As of 2008, the franchise has generated $1 billion in total revenue, including $400 million from TV syndication, $400 million from DVD sales, and $200 million from merchandise sales. There's a section on ratings. I'm not reading all that. Yeah, again, just a slow decline for years. Family Guy experienced a significant increase in viewership following its availability on various streaming platforms, with a particularly notable rise in popularity on Hulu. In 2018, it ranked among the most watched TV series on the streaming service Sling TV. In 2020, Hulu announced that Family Guy was one of the top 5 most watched non-sports and non-news related live shows on the streaming service. Nielsen Media Research, which records streaming viewership on U.S. television screens, estimated that the series was watched for 910 million minutes from July 29th to August 4th, 2024. The following week, it garnered 881 million minutes of viewing time from August 5th to August 11th, 2024, making it the 6th most streamed television show overall. From August 12th to August 18th, 2024, Family Guy generated 834 million minutes of viewership, ranking it as the 8th most streamed television show overall. From August 26th to September 1st, 2024, it amassed more than 1 billion minutes of viewing time, securing its position as the 3rd most streamed series overall. I'm not gonna lie, that last paragraph, I was in autopilot. I was reading it out loud. I said the words. None of them registered. Something about numbers. I hope that was meaningful to you, because I got I wasn't paying attention, I'm sorry. Critical reception. Family Guy has received generally positive reviews, particularly for its pop culture references, blue humor, satire, and non sequitur storytelling. Catherine Seep of National Review Online described it as, quote, nasty but extremely funny cartoon. Karen James of the New York Times called it a show, and, yep. Karen James of New York Times called it a show with an outrageously satirical family that includes plenty of comic possibilities and parodies. The Sydney Morning Herald named Family Guy the, quote, show of the week on April 21st, 2009, hailing it as a pop culture heavy masterpiece. Fraser Moore of the Seattle Times called it, quote, an endless craving for humor about bodily emissions. He thought it was a breathtakingly smart and said a, quote, blend of the ingenious with the raw helps account for its much broader appeal. He summarized it as, quote, rude, crude, and deliciously wrong. This dude fucking loves Family Guy, huh? The New Yorker's Nancy Franklin said that Family Guy is becoming one of the best animated shows. She commented on its ribaldry and popularity. Ribaldry? What is that? What is that word? Forgive me for being ignorant here, but what the hell is amusingly coarse or irreverent talk or behavior? The buffoonery and ribaldry in Shakespeare's comedies. Yeah, it's got plenty of ribaldry. The show has become a hit on Hulu. It is the second highest viewed show after Saturday Night Live. IGN called Family Guy a great show and commented that it has gotten better since its revival. Maybe for a window there. I don't know if that's still the case, but they stated that they cannot imagine another half-hour sitcom that provides as many laughs as Family Guy. Really? You can't imagine a single other half-hour sitcom that provides as many laughs as Family Guy. I'm sorry then, IGN. Empire praised the show and its writers for creating really hilarious moments with unlikely material. Did these people watch the show? They commented that one of the reasons that they love the show is because nothing is sacred. It makes jokes and gags of almost everything. Robin Pearson of the TV Critic praised the series as a different kind of animated comedy, which clearly sets out to do jokes which other cartoons can't do. Family Guy has proven popular in the United Kingdom, regularly obtaining between 700,000 and 1 million viewers for reruns on BBC Three. The series has attracted many celebrities. Robert Downey Jr. telephoned the show production staff to ask if he could produce or assist in an episode's creation, as his son is a fan of the show. The producers subsequently created a character for Downey. I don't know if they're gonna... Do they not mention it here? I'm pretty sure he plays... Yeah, it doesn't look like they mention it here. I'm pretty sure he plays Lois's brother. Like the fat guy killer or something like that. Let's find out real quick. No, I don't want to know about his family. I want to know about Family Guy. Thank you. Yeah, Patrick Pewterschmidt. Yeah, the fat guy strangler. Okay. Lauren Conrad met McFarlane while recording a Laguna Beach clip for the episode Prick Up Your Ears. She has watched Family Guy for years and considers Stewie to be her favorite character, in case you were wondering. Commenting on his appearance in the episode Big Man on Hippocampus, Season 8, 2010, actor Dwayne Johnson stated that he is a, quote, big fan of Family Guy. Johnson befriended McFarlane after he had a minor role in Johnson's 2010 film, The Tooth Fairy. R&B singer Rihanna has admitted to being a fan of Family Guy, as has pop singer Britney Spears. She tries to imitate Stewie's English accent. For fun? Or on songs? Doesn't say. I'm not gonna click the citation. We're just gonna go with it. Spears, who was okay, did she say it in an interview? I actually do want to know why they felt like they needed to bring that up. Britney Spears addicted to Family Guy is crazy. Thank you, The Blemish. Source said, oh, it's from The Sun? Isn't The Sun like one of the least reliable tabloids in the... Yeah, this is trash. So Wikipedia is quoting this The Blemish article, who's quoting a The Sun article, who's quoting a source close to Britney, who says, she really likes Stewie and has been trying to copy his British accent. It's a bit weird, especially when she's in the gym speaking like a camp Brit. That's the whole article. What the... This is the whole article. The whole article in question being Britney Spears addicted to Family Guy is crazy. Take that out. That shouldn't be part of this. Now, does Rihanna actually like Family Guy? Now I want to know. Rihanna, I relax with Family Guy. These articles are so... they're so short. This is the whole article right here. I love when I get those days where I don't have a specific time to get out of bed, she told GMTV. Those days when I don't have anything to do, I just lie there all day watching Family Guy. comedy. I don't feel confident that either Rihanna or Britney Spears loves Family Guy, and I really don't feel confident that Britney Spears loves to imitate Stewie's English accent. I'm sorry. Did Dwayne Johnson say that he's a big fan of Family Guy? And even if he did, by the way, I'm not sure that I would believe that he is. It's not loading, but it looks like it's an article about the Tooth Fairy. He probably mentioned it. I don't care. Maybe he does like Family Guy. Spears, who was mocked for her personal problems in the South Park episode Britney's New Look, in 2008 offered to appear in a cameo to hit back at the similar animated show, but MacFarlane declined, stating that he did not want to start a feud with the series. If she reached out to Seth MacFarlane to start beef with South Park via Family Guy, then maybe she is a major fan of the series. According to StarPulse.com, Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane decided against featuring a cameo appearance from Britney Spears. Where are they sourcing this? Again, the whole article. Whoever wrote this section of the critical reception tab, they need to do some more research. I'm also not sure, now I need to check if Robert Downey Jr. actually. Family Guy Season 4 DVD commentary. Okay, well, you can't get much closer than that, so. Robert Downey Jr. is probably a fan of Family Guy. Or his son is a fan of Family Guy. Robert Downey III, Jr. Award. Family Guy and its cast have been nominated for 27 Emmy Awards, with 8 wins. MacFarlane won the Outstanding Voiceover Performance Award for his performance as Stewie. Murphy and MacFarlane won the Outstanding Music and Lyrics Award for the song You Got a Lot to See, from the episode Brian Wallows and Peter Swallows. Stephen Fonte won the Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation Award for his storyboard work on the episode No Chris Left Behind. And Greg Colton won the Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation Award for his storyboard work on the episode Road to the Multiverse. The show was nominated for 11 Annie Awards and won 3 times, twice in 2006 and once in 2008. In 2009, it was nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Comedy Series, becoming the first animated program to be nominated in this category since The Flintstones in 1961. The Simpsons was almost nominated in 1993, but voters were hesitant to pit cartoons against live-action programs. The show was nominated for a Grammy in 2011. Family Guy has been nominated and has won various other awards, including the Teen Choice Awards and the People's Choice Awards. In the 1000th issue of Entertainment Weekly, Brian Griffin was selected as the dog for the perfect TV family. Sure. Wizard Magazine rated Stewie as the 95th greatest villain of all time. British newspaper... Okay, well, who did he beat? Who is Stewie Griffin better than? Oh, okay. We don't know. There's no way of knowing. British newspaper The Times rated Family Guy the 45th best American show in 2009. IGN ranked Family Guy number 7 in the top 100 animated series and number 6 in the top 25 primetime animated series of all time. Empire named it the 12th greatest TV show of all time in 2008. In 2005, viewers of the UK television channel Channel 4 voted Family Guy number 5 on their list of the top 100 greatest cartoons. Brian was awarded the 2009 Stoner of the Year Award by High Times for the episode 420, marking the first time an animated character received the honor. In 2004 and 2007, TV Guide ranked Family Guy number 12 and number 15 for their list of top cult shows ever. Family Guy has garnered 6 Golden Reel Award nominations, winning 3. In 2013, TV Guide ranked Family Guy as the 9th greatest TV cartoon of all time, but we already knew that. Criticism and controversy. One of the initial critics to give the show negative reviews was Ken Tucker from Entertainment Weekly. He called it, quote, The Simpsons as conceived by a singularly sophomoric mind that lacks any reference point beyond other TV shows. The Parents Television Council, or PTC, or PTUC for the cool kids in the audience who don't have time for the letter bullshit, a conservative nonprofit watchdog, has attacked the series since its premiere and has branded various episodes as, quote, worst TV show of the week. In May 2000, the PTC launched a letter-writing campaign to the Fox network in an effort to persuade the network to cancel the show. The PTC has placed the show on their annual lists of the worst primetime shows for family viewing in 2000, 2005, and 2006. The Federal Communications Commission, or freakin' FCC, has received multiple petitions requesting that the show be blocked from broadcasting on indecency grounds. Tucker and the PTC have both accused the show of portraying religion negatively and being racist. Because of the PTC, some advertisers have canceled their contracts after reviewing the content of the episodes, claiming it to be unsuitable. Critics have compared the show's humor and characters to those of The Simpsons. Various episodes of the show have generated controversy. In 420, Season 7, 2009, Brian decides to start a campaign to legalize cannabis in Quahog. The Venezuelan government reacted negatively to this episode and banned Family Guy from airing on their local networks, which generally syndicate American programming. Venezuelan Justice Minister Tariq El Ayesami, citing the promotion of the use of cannabis, stated that any cable stations that did not stop airing the series would be fined. The government showed a clip which featured Brian and Stewie singing the praises of marijuana as a demonstration of how the United States supports cannabis use. In Extra Large Medium, Season 8, 2010, a character named Ellen, who has Down syndrome, stated that her mother is the former governor of Alaska, which strongly implies that her mother is Sarah Palin, the only woman to have served the office of governor in that state. Sarah Palin, the mother of a child with Down syndrome, criticized the episode in an appearance on The O'Reilly Factor, calling those who made the show, quote, cruel, cold-hearted people. Broadcast and streaming. In the United States, the show currently airs on Adult Swim, Comedy Central, and FXX. The show was first syndicated to Adult Swim and TBS from 2003 to 2021, sharing the rights for the first 15 seasons. It was syndicated to various local stations from 2007 to 2024. In April 2019, FX Networks began airing reruns of Season 16 on FXX, with Season 17 debuting that October, and shared off-network rights to both seasons with sister channel Freeform. After Adult Swim and TBS's rights expired on September 18, 2021, FXX and Freeform began airing the first 15 seasons. The show also joined FX's lineup that same month. The show's departure from Adult Swim on September 18, 2021 was commemorated with a remembrance bumper created by the network, which played after the final airing of the episode, Stewie is Enciente. The bumper showed animations of several Adult Swim characters bidding farewell to Family Guy, including shots of Peter crying at the beginning and the Griffin family waving goodbye towards the end. Comedy Central began airing the show on September 2, 2024, as part of a non-exclusive licensing deal between Paramount and Disney. Comedy Central debuted the show with an all-day marathon on Labor Day. A similar licensing deal was then struck with Warner Bros. Discovery Networks for the show to return to Adult Swim starting January 1st, 2025, with the network planning a 3-day marathon to celebrate. In the United States, the series is available for streaming exclusively on Hulu. Additionally, Hulu will launch 2 holiday specials of Family Guy in late 2024, marking the first time a new episode of the show airs on the streaming platform. Internationally, that already happened, so they should change the language on that, but internationally, Family Guy is available to stream on Star on Disney+. The first such special premiered on October 14, 2024. The second special would then air on November 25, 2024. The show's second Halloween special for Hulu would air on October 6, 2025. The United States is the only country where the show is not available on either Disney Plus or Star Plus. Initially, Family Guy was not available to stream on Disney Plus in Latin America, as it had been available on the standalone service Star Plus. However, Star Plus content merged with Disney Plus content on June 26, 2024, and Star Plus was discontinued altogether on July 24, 2024. Star Plus, we hardly knew ye. In fact, I didn't know ye at all. Family Guy premiered in Australia on April 9, 1999 on the 7 network, in 2000 on Fox 8, and on 7 Mate. Okay, that's too many numbers. Family Guy premiered in Australia on April 9th, 1999 on the 7 network, in 2000 on Fox 8 and 7 Mate, on September 27, 2010. Stop saying numbers at me. Stop giving me numbers. That's too many numbers. Initially, only 2 seasons were available to stream on Disney Plus Star due to pre-existing contracts. The other 17 seasons were added on December 1st, 2021, after the contract expired. In Canada, the series premiered January 31st, 1999 on Global, and September 1st, 2003 on Teletoon at night. Beginning in the 2015-2016 season, the show moved to City TV. The show would once again return to the channel in 2023. Starting in November 2021, the series moved to Disney+. In addition to Teletoon at night, the show has been syndicated to TV Tropolis, now Detour. As of January 2025, Adult Swim Canada and FXX Canada syndicate the series. Since 2024, CHCH, or CH, for the cool kids in the audience who don't have time for that letter bullshit, and City TV share the broadcast rights to the series due to scheduling issues with the new episodes streaming the next day on Disney+. The show airs in India on Star World Premiere, in Ireland on 3E, and in New Zealand on TVNZ Duke. Previously it screamed on the defunct Channel 4. In the United Kingdom, Family Guy premiered in September 1999, originally on Channel 4 and Sky 1. In January 2005, Fox UK, then known as FX, began broadcasting the show. From October 2005, BBC Two started screening Family Guy before the show moved to BBC Three in September 2006. Beginning with season 14, the show moved to ITV2, premiering on February 29, 2016, while the BBC would continue to hold the rights for past seasons until 2017. Franchise. No. Family Guy, It Takes a Village Idiot, and I Married One was written by executive story editor Cherry this name is always, anytime I see it pop up in the credits, I don't even read it in my mind. I just go, oh, there's that name again. Cherry Shevapravat Dumwrong. Story editor Cherry Shevapravat and actress Alex Borstein. The book was first published on May 8, 2007. The book was a biographical monologue, by Lois Griffin, covering a portion of her life, spanning from the memories of growing up to her attempted run for mayor in the town of Quahog. Though the book primarily consists of a loose narrative monologue by Lois, it was also interspersed with sections from other characters such as Peter Griffin. The book covers the events featured in the Family Guy episode It Takes a Village Idiot and I Married One, with which it shares a title. It was published in the United Kingdom in 2007 by Orion Books. A comic book based on the Family Guy universe was produced, published by Titan Comics, edited by Steve White, and illustrated by Anthony Williams and S.L. Gallant. The writing and illustrations were supervised by show's producers. The first comic book was released on July 27, 2011. Live performances. As promotion for the show, and as Newman described, quote, to expand interest in the show beyond its die-hard fans, Fox organized 4 Family Guy live performances, which featured cast members reading old episodes aloud. The cast also performed musical numbers for the Family Guy Live in Vegas comedy album. The stage shows were an extension of the performance by the cast during the 2004 Montreal Comedy Festival. The Family Guy live performances, which took place in Los Angeles and New York, were sold out and were attended by around 1,200 people each. At the 59th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards in 2007, MacFarlane performed, as the digitally inserted Stewie and Brian, the ceremony's opening number. He performed a song insulting modern television to the tune of the song The Fellas at the Freakin' FCC, performed in the episode PTV. The song insulted TV shows such as 2.5 Men, Desperate Housewives, and Scrubs, as well as the final scene of The Sopranos. In 2009, a special televised performance show aired titled Family Guy Presents Seth and Alex's Almost Live Comedy Show, in which voice actors Alex Borstein and MacFarlane performed songs from the show, as well as a parody of Lady Gaga's song Poker Face, in the voice of Marlee Matlin, who appeared on stage as a guest during the performance. Some new animated... Who is Marlee... What's funny about that? Oh, she's deaf. That's not funny, but that's... That's what they were going for. Some new animated gags also appeared in the show. Film.
Piece of candy.
In a July 22nd, 2007 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, MacFarlane announced that he may start working on a feature film. Yeah, this was about 20 years ago, and that doesn't happen, so... Although, nothing's official. Mr. Booze. Okay. In TV Week on July 18th, 2008, MacFarlane confirmed plans to produce a theatrically released Family Guy feature film sometime, quote, within the next year. He came up with an idea for the story, quote, something that you could not do in the show, which to him is the only reason to do a movie. He later went on to say he imagines the film to be an old-style musical with dialogue, similar to The Sound of Music. Yeah, that sounds like something he would want to do. Saying that he would really be trying to capture musically that feel. On October 13th, 2011, MacFarlane confirmed that a deal for the Family Guy film had been made, and that it would be written by him and series co-producer Ricky Blitt. On November 30th, 2012, MacFarlane confirmed plans to produce a Family Guy film. The project was put on hold while MacFarlane worked on Ted 2. On August 10th, 2018, Fox announced that a live-action/animated film based on the series was in development. Ew. I'm glad they didn't end up making that. In 2019, MacFarlane confirmed that there would be a Family Guy film. During Paley Fest in April 2024, MacFarlane revealed that he has known what the plot of the film would be for the past 15 years, but had not had the time to write it. I don't know what Seth MacFarlane... He seems like he probably has a lot on his plate. He's probably a fairly busy man, but there's probably enough time to write a Family Guy movie in 15 years. He's not doing brain surgery over here. In fact, he might be doing the thing furthest possible from brain surgery, which is writing the script for the Family Guy movie. But, far be it from me to assume the intricacies of Mr. McFarlane's life. Spin-off. McFarlane co-created, alongside Mike Henry and Rachel Appel, the Family Guy spin-off, The Cleveland Show, which premiered September 27, 2009. They began discussing the project in 2007. Where's The Cleveland Show movie? That's my real question. Video game. The Family Guy video game is a 2006 action game released by 2K Games and developed by High Voltage Software. Family Guy Back to the Multiverse, which is centered around the episode Road to the Multiverse, was released on November 20th, 2012. Family Guy The Quest for Stuff launched on iOS and Android on April 10th, 2014. Animation Throwdown The Quest for Cards, a card game with content and characters from 5 animated television shows from Fox, Family Guy, Futurama, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, and King of the Hill, was released in 2016 by Congregate. Family Guy Another Freakin' Mobile Game was released on iOS on April 25th, 2017. Warped Kart Racers is a racing game that was released on Apple Arcade in May 2022. The game features the entire Griffin family and includes characters from American Dad, King of the Hill, and Solar Opposites. Merchandise. As of 2009, 6 books have been released about the Family Guy universe, all published by HarperCollins since 2005. First, Family Guy, Stewie's Guide to World Domination, ISBN 978-06-06-077321-2, for the Harvard types in the audience, by Stephen Callahan, was released on April 26, 2005. Written in the style of a graphic novel, the plot follows Stewie's plans to rule the world. Other books include Family Guy, It Takes a Village Idiot, and I Married One, which covers the events of the episode of the same name, and Family Guy in Philosophy, A Cure for the Can I say that? I'm going to choose not to. A collection of 17 essays exploring the connections between the series and historical philosophers. Mr. Booze. Is this officially licensed? It would have to be if they're featuring these, right? Yeah. A book written from Brian's point of view, written by Andrew Goldberg, was published in 2006, called Brian Griffin's Guide to Booze, Broads, and the Lost Art of Being a Man. Family Guy has been commercially successful in the home market. The show was the first to be resurrected because of high DVD sales. The first volume, covering the show's first 2 seasons, sold 1.67 million units, topping TV DVD sales in 2003, while the second volume sold another million units. Volumes 6 and 7 debuted... Volumes 6 and 7 debuted at 5th place in United States DVD sales. Volume 7 was the highest-selling television DVD, selling 171,000 units by June 21st, 2009. Family Guy Presents Blue Harvest, the DVD featuring the Star Wars special Blue Harvest, was released on January 15th, 2008, and premiered at the top of the United States DVD sales. The DVD was the first Family Guy DVD to include a digital copy for download to the iPod. In 2004, the first series of Family Guy toy figurines was released by Mezco Toys. Each member of the Griffin family had their own toy, with the exception of Stewie, of whom 2 different figures were made. Over the course of 2 years, 4 more series of toys were released, with various forms including Peter. In 2008, the character Peter appeared in advertisements for Subway restaurants, promoting the restaurant's massive feast sandwich. Peter would probably be a better choice than Jared. When was the Jared? Is Jared in this ad?
It's as big as my head. Beat that, Jared. Subway, eat fresh.
Yikes. Oh, and that's the end of the... On that note, that's the entirety of the Wikipedia article for Family Guy. I don't know if this is a good series. I'll put this up and you guys let me know if this was worthwhile or dumb or both. I'll take both. I'm still working on the Every Reference in Family Guy series. Hopefully I'll have a new one for you soon enough. But I figured this would be a pretty, low impact video to produce in the meantime while you're waiting. I have some other stuff planned. I'm hoping to expand some of the scope of this channel. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions or comments or concerns, or you just want to say hello, feel free to do so in the comments. I read them all, and I appreciate the feedback. Yeah. I don't know how else to end this. The end.